So David Schaefer, the chairman of the Republican Party in Georgia, is saying that they found Republican monitors found 9,626 vote error in DeKalb County's hand count. They labeled 10,707 votes for Biden and 13 for Trump. It was actually 1,081 for Biden, 13 for Trump. What you need to understand is that it got caught because the system actually worked okay here. The auditors caught it. The observers, the Republican observers caught it. But what you need to understand also is that there's a fallback. See, if in Georgia, if the audit differs from the machine count by more than a vote, they want to know why. They're allowing it to deviate by a vote, plus or minus a vote. But otherwise, it really shouldn't deviate. So, because they're working in batches, and you've got multiple people counting at one time, and there's separate batches of ballots being counted, the counters can't coordinate with each other. Let's say, just hypothetically, that they added votes in the machine. Well, they can't now coordinate with each other to try to make sure that their math aligns so that they hit that number again. So if you run the audit and it deviates by this 9,626 votes, well, then it's going to deviate from what the machine showed, which is going to trigger a second, more detailed audit with more observers to figure out what's going on. So had this not been caught, it would have triggered an investigation, which would have frozen DeKalb County's vote. But it was caught, which means the system is working. I mean, listen, I can't stop people from believing the crazy conspiracy theories and going down the rabbit holes of what if everyone got in a meeting together, the ballot auditors, and decided, here's what we're going to do. We're all going to miscount. We rigged the machine to display an extra 20,000 votes for Biden. One of you can't just do it together, so you're going to find 500. You're going to shift 500 to Biden. You're going to shift 10,000 to Biden. You're going to shift 5,000 to Biden. You're going to shift 4,281, and you're going to do the difference. Well, the Republican auditors, the Republican observers, caught one person doing that, which means that breaks down that whole conspiracy theory. The system is working as it's supposed to. It's not flawless and it's not perfect. One of the things that the people who lose always want is a perfect system. The Democrats wanted a perfect system in 2016. In 2000, it was Al Gore wanted a perfect system. There's never going to be a perfect system because you have humans involved with complex machines. You've got idiots who are told to fill in their bubble on the ballot, and instead they write an X through their choice, and that becomes complicated. On and on it goes. There's never a perfect system. There's never a perfect election. There is always fraud. Is there fraud that affects the margin of victory, though? Probably not. There are sometimes dead people who do vote. They cast their ballot by absentee, and then they died. Their death doesn't get put into the system, and therefore their vote gets counted. Now, there were 4 people in Georgia who supposedly were dead and voted. All 4 of them have been conclusively shown by the Secretary of State's office to not have voted. The most specific one was in Roswell, Georgia, a lady, Deborah Christensen. The Trump campaign said she had voted. She was on the roll, but she was a Fulton County voter and did not actually cast a vote in Fulton County. Now someone's saying that she was actually in Cobb County and cast a vote in Cobb County, but it was actually a different Deborah Christensen in Cobb County. That person is alive and well. There was a guy in Ware County, apparently, who supposedly voted. It turns out it wasn't him. It was his son who lives at the same address. Of all 4 of the people who were claimed to be dead in Georgia who voted, there have been proven it wasn't them. The system isn't flawless, the system isn't perfect, but the system is working, and the system worked to catch these 9,626 vote error in the hand count in DeKalb County. Had the Republicans not done that, it would have deviated so much from the machine, more than a vote. The Secretary of State's office would have done a second audit. So, I can't expect everyone to believe it. I realize there's so much disinformation and so much lack of trust out there. You're never going to get a flawless election. You're never going to get perfection. But as close as we can get to what the actual total is, it looks like they're doing it, and it looks like the checks in place to catch it when mistakes are made actually caught the problem.